What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Patrick Beverley versus the LA Clippers. Looks like the LA Clippers are going to see an old friend in the playoffs or the play-in, and they're definitely ready for it. And, Paul George speaks on the fact of seeing an old friend in the playoffs, and basically, just speaks on how it's going to be a challenge and, and how it's going to be, just a different feel, having him on the other side, as the opposition rather than, the guy going to war with you as he always did. And, it's definitely a different feel for me too, because I always looked at Patrick Beverley like the heart and soul of the Clippers. I always looked at him like that, simply because that grit and grind, he was a part of that, along with Montrez. And you could throw Lou Williams in there. He wasn't good defensively, but he still was a part of that operation too. So, you always think of those type players when those players, when you think of the Clippers. Of course, you think of Blake and all them before that. But when Blake and them left, Patrick Beverley was like the staple defense, attitude, all that stuff, and it all went well with the Clippers organization and the culture. So it's hard to play against somebody who was a culture changer or a part of a culture change for the Clippers throughout the time. They've, played better, or played, while he was there. So it's definitely going to be difficult. But at the same time, they got to look at him as an enemy. That's what he is now. You can't look at him any different. You can't treat him any different. And he's coming at you like you're an enemy. And that's just the way it is. So Clippers need their head on focus. They need to be aware of everything that can go wrong. They can't let Anthony Edwards erupt for like 35 or 40, nor Cat either. I mean, they got to hold Cat to at least, I'd say, 30 and maybe 10, something like that. Don't let them get 35, 40, and then Anthony Edwards have about 30. That can't happen. They have to play some solid defense. Zubac is definitely going to have to be big in this series. In this play-in tournament, this game against them, because like I said, you're going to have to stop Karl-Anthony Towns. He's been playing very good, very, very dominant lately. The last month or so of the season, he's been playing pretty dominant, like he's just ready to go out there and show everybody what he really got. And the Clippers going to have to be prepared for that. But at the same time, Tim Wolf going to have to be prepared for Paul George and Norman Powell, because I think those two will definitely, be able to get off, a lot as well. So, it's going to be back and forth scoring. I said, maybe about a month or two ago, this could happen where Patrick Beverley can go against his old team. I said it around the time where I made the video where Patrick Beverley went to visit the Clippers at a Clippers game, and he was sitting in the stands like a fan. I said it back then. It's very possible they could see him in the play-in tournament or the first round of playoffs, or however you want to call it. And this is exactly what happened. So, the Clippers, they got to be prepared for this. This is going to be a tough game. You're going to Minnesota for a reason. Most of the time, teams don't play Minnesota in the playoffs, because usually the Minnesota Timberwolves don't never make it. So for a lot of years, they haven't been a team that was really thought of, as a contender or anything like that. But this team is evolving. This team is getting better. And the Clippers definitely going to have their work cut out for them, I believe. It's definitely not going to be an easy game. Yesterday, or the day before, I think I said it was going to be 114 to 112. So, tonight's game is definitely going to be tough, for the Clippers. And I know it's a lot of hype around this game. And with Patrick Beverley, being how he is, I know he definitely wants to get back at his old team and kind of, have a little bit of bragging rights. If he can knock the Clippers off, or knock them down, I should say, he definitely wants to do that. And which that would be bad for the Clippers to a degree, because if they get knocked down in this situation here, they'd have to go on the road and play either 9 or 10. Whoever wins that play-in game, and then whoever wins that gets to go against the number 1 seed, which is the Phoenix Suns, which is a bad matchup, for the Clippers right now, especially without Kawhi Leonard. I still think they'll give the Suns about 6 games like they did last year, maybe 7. Now they got Powell, but of course, if it goes 7 games without Kawhi Leonard, it's a possible chance they could win that series. I mean, depending on how they start, but it's going to be a tough uphill battle. I'd rather them play Memphis because I feel like in a 7-game series, I think they can find a way to somehow beat Memphis in 6 games. And a lot of people might call me crazy, but I think the Clippers have the capability of doing that. But we'll just have to see, if they're able to actually accomplish that. But I'd rather them play the Memphis Grizzlies anyway because they're a lot younger, less experienced in the playoffs. And Ja's really young, just trying to get his feet up under him, like that. So it's one of those situations where, I look at it and I say, of course, it doesn't matter who they play. They get who they get. But at the same time, I'd definitely rather see them get Memphis, first round. So if they can that's why I say I feel like they need to win, tonight's game. I just feel like they need to win it. I just feel like they do, against the Timberwolves because, you have a better chance, a better matchup there against them as far as how the matchups go. And that's what I always talk about. Playoffs are all about matchups. And to me, the better matchup for the Clippers will be against the Memphis Grizzlies because the Clippers got size and the Grizzlies got a little bit of size too. But I feel like the Clippers got a little bit more versatility with theirs. Like Steven Adams, I don't really look at him as somebody who can go out there and give me 20 and 10, even though he has the capability of doing it, but it's less likely chance he's going to do that. I could see, Ty Lue letting Zubac go and Zubac can give the Clippers maybe about 17 and 14. You know what I'm saying? If Zoo plays the way he's supposed to, and if Ty Lue gives an opportunity, I can see Zubac doing that because Zubac is skilled enough to score 20 and 10 a game. He's skilled enough to do it. Whether he does it or not, well, that's the question. That's a question remains to be seen, going forward in his career. But he definitely has the talent to do that. So, I feel like the Clippers could possibly have an advantage there, possibly. And then, like I said, Paul George over Ja Morant in regards to scoring, things like that. You can't really say that because Ja Morant can score too, but I just feel like Paul George and, when you look at the Clippers, they got more wisdom, basically, than the Memphis Grizzlies. So that would be a better matchup or a better pairing matchup, to me in regards to who they match up with better. And on top of that, I don't think it would shock too many people if the Clippers did beat the Memphis Grizzlies, just because of what I said. They don't have much experience as far as the, playoffs, almost like almost everybody on the Clippers does. Everybody on the Clippers have been in, a deep playoff run at this point. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and then individually, Kawhi, PG, all of them, they, definitely went far in their career before. So the experience of being in a big moment, can override, how good a team is playing or anything like that at the moment. So I feel like the Clippers definitely need to try to beat the Timberwolves so they can get that spot and get to the Memphis Grizzlies, because I think that can go 6 or 7 games. And then, it can go either way, at that point. But, if the Grizzlies, if they did happen to play the Grizzlies and the Grizzlies did beat them without Kawhi Leonard, I wouldn't be surprised at that either. But I just feel like the Clippers had the better matchup going that direction instead of seeing the Phoenix Suns in round 1 if they lose to the Timberwolves and happen to beat the 9th or 10th seed, which I definitely feel like they can do that. But I don't know. It's going to be a roller coaster there, trying to figure out, just seeing how it goes with the whole thing. I feel like the Clippers have a good opportunity in front of them to at least make a decent run in the playoffs, hopefully with Kawhi coming back. But as I said before, if he's supposed to come back in the first round of the playoffs, if that's projected, then they got to find a way out the play-in tournament. So beating the Timberwolves is the key. Get your way out the play-in tournament and get to that first round, see what you can do, and maybe he'll come start of the first round, mid first round, something like that. I definitely believe Kawhi is gonna come back, but we'll see how it goes with the Clippers in the first round of the play-in, and see how everything pans out. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always, and hey, Khaliis out.